I am live. What's up, guys? It's been a while. It's been a minute. Been going through some stuff, some changes in my personal life, and yeah, so that's why I haven't been posting as regularly. By the way, guys, I made everything public, right? All the old podcasts that I did. At one point, I was thinking, maybe I'll set up a Patreon thing so guys can support me, and then I'll keep like the full podcast for those people, right, who are Patreon members and all. But finally, I thought about it. I'm like, man, you know what? Let me just doesn't make any sense. Um, I wouldn't have been down with that if I was a viewer, a fan of a channel, and they made it like that. So I'm like, yeah, let me just put it out for free like that, and then set up something else in terms of some kind of service or whatever that I could offer you guys to, Anyways, I'll talk about that later. But I do have something in the works now. So a couple of things that changed since the last time I've been on. I've been making videos and all that. Is that, well, some of you guys may notice if you follow me, if you follow the channel, I wouldn't say religiously, but regularly, right? So I split up with my editor, so he got too busy and all that. So then after that, I was like, oh man, what do I do with this video editing stuff? And so now I decided I'm gonna do formats like this a lot more. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna talk about a certain subject. And so these lives aren't always going to be very long. It might just be like, 5-10 minutes, depending on how much I have to say on a certain subject. But I am planning on doing lives like this a lot more regularly, and doing like reaction type of videos and all that, blah blah blah. So in this video, okay, we're gonna talk about top. What was the subject that I put? Oh, ranking top 4 martial artists for self-defense. This was a question that was asked by one of the guys in the community. Ultra Ghost. I'm gonna read it off my phone because I can't actually find a comment when I'm on my computer. So whatever. So Ultra Ghost, this one's for you. The question was, bro, you have to do a video ranking the best martial arts for self-defense. I really want your opinion. Now, this was 2 months ago. So, guys, I promise I'm going to be a lot more diligent and faster with, answering you guys, questions and all that in comments, when you ask questions like in the description under the videos. So, all right. And, my perspective has changed quite a bit since I did my first MMA fight. And since I've been training, I trained for that MMA fight maybe a total of, memory's fuzzy, but maybe 4 months or something like that, maybe 6. Yeah, about 6 months in total, right? And for those of you guys who don't know, my forte is judo. Did that for about 7 years. Prior to that, 6 years in jiu-jitsu. Did about now maybe 2 years of wrestling. 1 year, about maybe 4 months of boxing. Kickboxing and Muay Thai and all that, maybe I would say close to 2 years now as well. I've done some Taekwondo when I was a kid and all that, but and some Kung Fu. Anyways, all that to say, 43 years old, went inside the cage, got the W. It was pretty clunky. I did some really good things, and I made a lot of mistakes, but it was a great experience. I enjoyed it quite a bit. But I'm taking a break from competition right now, and I'm focusing on work, and also I want to focus on getting my black belt. That's what I've been doing. I've been doing a lot of kata, man. So that's for another video, but let's get into this one for now, okay? So first, let's define self-defense, okay? To me, self-defense, it comes down to one thing: survival. That's what it's really about. So you want to survive, right, at all costs. With that being said, the number one rule, in my opinion, is to survive. One. Second one is to stay standing. So you can't go on the ground in the streets because it's just too dangerous, man. Like, you don't want to roll around. Like, if you're one-on-one, sure, and there's no one else around. But honestly, rolling around on the ground, it's not the best thing. Usually, in a self-defense kind of scenario, like, you might be outnumbered, and so yeah, you don't want to go on the ground. Like, you got to stay standing, right? Like, if you fall on the ground, you want to be able to get back up, of course, as fast as possible, because you want to be able to like hit and run, or you know, deal with multiple attackers and all that kind of stuff. You know, maybe knock one guy out, and then after that, keep your distance. So you got to be standing. So number one, if we're just talking pure martial, like just martial arts styles, is Sambo, because Sambo is basically MMA in a gi, right? So it's complete. You have striking, you have grappling, you have submissions and all that. Obviously, you would focus more on the throws of Sambo, which are very similar to judo throws, because one of the founders of Sambo actually trained in judo. So Sambo is kind of like a mix of, I would say, in the grappling department, it's a mix of judo and wrestling. And then after that, you throw in striking and all that, okay? And of course, there's submissions and blah, 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 leg locks and all kinds of funny grips, so it's really cool. Now, Sambo would be at the top of my list. Now, if that's not available, well, I wouldn't say, yeah. I mean, it depends where you are in the world, but I would say Sambo, right? Number one for self-defense, right? This is just, the ideal thing would be to actually train like in a lot of different disciplines, so you get really, become really well-rounded. But Sambo would be my number one go-to if all I care about is self-defense. Then after that, the second one would be Muay Thai, right? Because Muay Thai, you have the clinch, right? You have your elbows, you have your knees and all that. I wouldn't suggest kicking in a street fight, like kicking higher than the waist would be a little bit dangerous, because you could get taken down, you could lose your balance and all that. So kicking like low, right? Below the waist, I think that's what I would stick to be honest. And with Muay Thai, yeah, man, you got your elbows, you got your knees, you got clinch work, you know, you throw the guy down, you know, beat him up, you got your punching and kicking and all that. And you know, it's, so for me, that would be number two. Now, number three would be kickboxing, right? Kickboxing. Now, kickboxing doesn't have, I mean, they clinch up, but it's not as, you're allowed like one knee, basically, right? When you're in the clinch, and then you gotta let go kind of thing, and you can't elbow. So kickboxing would be really good as well. That would be number three. And number four would be boxing, because sometimes that's really all you need, right? And now we're talking in a self-defense scenario where you, like, number one rule is to survive, and then to survive, the other number one rule, on top of that number one rule, would be to stay standing. So boxing, yeah, boxing would be number four. Now, the reason why I don't have any traditional martial arts in this ranking system is because, I mean, not ranking system, but in the way I rank them, is because with traditional martial arts, a lot of times you don't have real sparring. You don't have sparring, period. So if you don't have sparring, oh man, I'm telling you, it's just like you might not be able to pull off what you learned under real pressure, you know, under real how do you say it? Real danger, real, you know. So that's why I wouldn't. That's why I'm not talking about traditional martial arts. There's a lot of things in traditional martial arts that are really good and really useful, but I mean, if you never really sparred before, it's going to be hard to pull it off for real against people who are trained. Now, I know what you're going to say is that maybe, yeah, but you know, a lot of the stuff, you know, if the guy isn't trained, I can pull it off. Yeah, but you know, you're better off training, learning things and training and being able to pull stuff off on people who are trained as well. Then after that, if you meet somebody who's a donkey, basically, you know, a donkey in the sense that like they don't even know how to fight, then of course you're gonna have such an advantage. But what happens if you, for example, get into some kind of self-defense scenario where the guy actually knows how to fight, and your stuff is more traditional and it only works on people who might not know how to fight, kind of thing, if that makes sense, right? So without rambling too much, that's basically it, man. So to answer your question, Ultra Ghost, that was the name. Okay. Sambo, that would be number one. Number two would be Muay Thai. And number three would be kickboxing. Number four would be boxing. That's it. That would be my my suggestion for the streets. I don't suggest you guys fight in the streets, but hey, it is what it is, right? Some of you guys are gonna do it anyway. Just try not to go to jail. All right, so that was that for the video. Hey, 9 people, awesome, man. Okay, so let's hear. I'm gonna check out some comments. I came late. What are the other 3? Oh, yeah. So let me just. Is there any way I can type this in here? Okay, combat sambo, number 1. Muay Thai, number 2. Then kickboxing, number 3. A lot of clubs, guys, by the way, Muay Thai, kickboxing, like they do both of them. So whatever, you could just mix all that in together. And then boxing, number 4, right? So whatever is available in your area, and whatever is, and if you, whatever is more convenient, whatever has the better coaches, that's what you should go for. Like for example, if I live in an area where all these 4 things are available, then I would try each one of them and see which one is the best fit. But with any of these 4, like if everything being equal, like all the coaches and all the people who train there are amazing, okay, then yeah, I would probably go with the one that's more complete, that has more, gives you access to more tools. Sambo has like a lot of well, it's basically MMA, with a gi and with shorts and shoes. Which is kind of cool too, because in real life, in the streets, you're probably wearing shoes, right? So, all right, on to the next question. Moselle, hello. Yes, how you doing? All right, and let's see. Hi, what are the best body weight exercises for judo? Best body weight for exercises for judo. Okay, this is something I'm gonna make more videos about, but I've been messing around and learning about high intensity training, not to be mistaken with high intensity interval training, right? Where you're just doing like, something really intense for like 60 seconds and you switch to another thing, and, and so on. But I'm talking about really basically working out the muscles to failure, one set for that muscle group, and then switching over to another one set to failure, the other group, and then the legs, the other group. Anyways, what I'm saying is that there are no really best exercises, because that's something that I think is, like, I've been reading up on it. I've been studying it for the past year now, and I really think I'm onto something here, guys. Like, you don't need anything fancy. You need to practice the skill of your sport, and then you need to get big and strong. And for that, to get big and strong, you just need to work the muscle. You don't need to do anything fancy. So I would say basic exercises, for example, push up, pull up, squat. That's it. Then of course you want to work your grip. You want to work exercise for your neck. You want to work the calf, and then the muscles. Man, I forgot what the heck it's called. But that muscle that's right in front of your shin, like kind of like on the side, but in front of your shin, kind of. If somebody knows, just type it in there, and I'll get to it. But that's pretty much it, man. You don't need to get fancy at all, right? But me personally, what I like to do, like if only body weight, I would do judo push-ups, or what do they call it also, bomb diver bomb push-ups, right? But do it slow. Okay, slow, and then you can like mix it up a little bit, go a little bit faster here and there if you get bored. But you do that, man, like you're working your shoulders, you're working your pecs, your arms, your core's a little bit engaged as well. Okay, and then after that, for your back, I would just do pull-ups, and of course, for your legs, just do squats, regular ass squats. Do it slow. You're gonna see. You don't even need weights, really. I mean, I'll show you guys in. Not that I'm gonna show you guys, but yeah, there's a couple of guys on YouTube now that are talking about high intensity training. I learned from Drew Bay. I also learned from Steve Maxwell, but Drew Bay is the main one because he has a community online that I'm part of. And then there's Jay Vincent. I don't know if you guys heard of him, but he talks about it a lot. He learned also from Drew Bay, and yeah, his stuff is really, really interesting. I'm trying to get him on a podcast one of these days and talk about all of this stuff. It's crazy. You guys are gonna, and the thing is, somebody tells you, and you're like, yeah, okay, but I'm a martial artist. I need specific exercises and this and that. But you honestly don't. Like I'm telling you guys, all you need is just to get basic ass exercises, right? To get big and strong, right? And then after that, as strong as your genetics will allow, and after that, it's all about practicing that skill. That's it. The skill of your sport, the skill of fighting. Okay. Judo. I love judo. I'm a big judo guy, but nah, it's not enough. Like you gotta know how to defend like from punches and stuff like that too, from striking, right? You can't freeze up because the thing is, if you never strike before, what's gonna happen is you're not gonna have the right reflexes. Your reflexes are not gonna be good because it doesn't come naturally for somebody to just stand in front of a punch, like something coming at you and keeping your eyes open and just like moving, ducking, weaving, slipping, sliding, blocking with the hands. Like you might actually not understand how to block. I'm not saying you, but it's important. Like judo, yeah, it can get you far, man. Like, I mean, once you clinch up, man, judo is, taking somebody down, throwing somebody, like upper body throws and all that. Very useful, very, very useful. Greco-Roman style takedowns or judo, because it's all upper body. It's all upper body. Bam, bam, and then of course you integrate a little bit of sweeps and use your knees to lift the guy up and all that. So once you get into clinch, but the thing is, you have to be able to get into clinch, and sometimes you don't want to get into clinch because you see the guy coming from far, like maybe he's a big dude or whatever, but like why? You could just like bam, like oblique kick to the knee, kick to the thigh, boom, bam, bam, 1, 2, whatever, and then leave. But then, of course, if it ever ends up where it clinches up, then yeah, you can smash the guy, right? No, Sambo in immediate era. Any substitute for yeah. So like I said, Muay Thai, kickboxing, boxing, right? All right. IK do ring. Your posterior chain, good stabilizer recruitment is important for judo. Oh yeah, good stabilizer recruit. Okay, guys, I just want to make something clear. There is no such thing as stabilizing muscles. Okay, there's not like certain muscles that are called there's no muscles that are like stabilizers. It's a role that it plays. So depending on the movement, that muscle, a certain muscle will stabilize, the main, help stabilize for like a main muscle that's doing whatever work it is. So it's a role that it plays. Now, IK do ring work. I'm not sure it's required at the same time. Okay, I'm not sure what you mean by that, but okay. It's required at the same time. Makes good use of your posterior chain. Good stabilizer. Yeah, well, you do. Oh, that's another thing that I forgot when it comes to basic exercises. Like you do want to train your abs, your abdominal muscles separately as well to give it some extra love, right? With that said, you have to practice judo to get good at judo. So you have to practice your throws to get good at your throws, and then you have to work your strength separately. Always. Trust me, guys. It's better like this. Like when you confuse the two, right? It's not productive. Okay, and yeah, and the thing is, don't rely on the sport. Like, of course, when you practice a skill, it's going to develop certain muscles, and because you're going to use them a little bit more often on that. But don't rely on that. Strengthen like on your own, separately, and then go do your sport. Okay. What about Project Double Black Belt? That's still on, absolutely. So now, once my exam is, I split up the black belt exam into 2 parts. So what you could do, because when you go for your black belt, what you have to do is you have to present the Nage no Kata, and then you got to present the Gokyo. They call out a bunch of techniques, and then you got to, you have to know the names by heart, and you got to show them, and then you got to do a little randori. So what I'm doing is, next Sunday, I'm going up to Quebec. 3-hour drive, guys. I've been like practicing this since June, for Christ's sakes. So I'm gonna do a kata competition. So who knows? Maybe I'll get a medal with that. But even if you don't get on the podium, you still get accredited for the Nage no Kata, unless you're really bad, right? And then after that, once I get to the exam in mid-December, that's when I like finish. I do the official exam, so I don't have to do the kata anymore because I'm accredited already because of the competition. And then from there, I'm going to do the Gokyo. So the Gokyo and the Randori. So that it just makes it a little bit less overwhelming, and it's easier to pass that way, right? And after that, then I'm gonna go. Then it's Project Double Black Belt. So then I have to go. I have to decide on where I want to train BJJ for my black belt. I want to go back to my original club, the one where I started at, but it's a little bit far. But I don't know. I'm gonna talk to the coaches over there. They're all my friends. They're all we still talk and all, of course. And yeah, so I want the double black because right now I would say my level in BJJ, like I'm blue belt, but I mean I did BJJ for 6 years. So it's kind of weird that I never got it. I was actually going to get it like towards the because I changed clubs. So 3 years in the first club and then another 3 years in another club. And both clubs, right when I left, they were about to give me purple, but I left. So anyways, I don't think it would take me long to get to purple. Probably about 6 months, tops. With all my judo skills now at this point, as on top of like what I already knew. So it would take me probably about 6 months to get to purple, and from purple to black, that's 2 belts. But those 2 belts, you know how it goes. It takes pretty long time. So I think that in the next 5 years, I think I should be able to pull off. I should be able to pull off a black belt in BJJ, right? So that's still on, definitely. Because double black just sounds. It's like a lifetime achievement thing. So it's really cool. All right, let's see here. Dude, love your stuff. Thanks, buddy. I appreciate that a lot. I think judo is the best because it teaches standing and ground. Absolutely, it does. It does. It makes you tough. Definitely, sambo is great, but what about chokes? Chokes are the best things about grappling. Period. Oh yeah, it's true. I think in sambo there's no chokes. It's crazy because they got leg locks and stuff, but then they don't get chokes. So yeah. But when it comes to grappling, I definitely think, yeah, judo is. I obviously I'm a little bit biased there, but I mean I cross train with so many martial arts now that like I just use different things at different times, different techniques here and there. It's all just like meshed together in my head, Yeah, judokas. The fun thing about judoka is that when you start young and all that, and if you continue up to black belt, there's a lot of it teaches you good work ethic. It teaches you respect. It teaches you humility. And of course it develops you at a pretty high level if you start young and you compete and you go far enough. Man, yeah, beast. Dive bomber. There you go. Bomber dive bomb. Whatever. Judo push-ups. Beginner. Yeah, it's okay, man. We all start beginner, right? And then you just keep going, man. And next thing you know, you're not a beginner anymore. But it's always good to stay humble, keep open mind, keep a beginner's mindset. But obviously, there's levels to it. Thank you, brother. Of course. What is your favorite judo throw? That's a good question. I never really thought about that. I would say, you know what? The one that comes easiest to me is Araigoshi. Araigoshi comes really easy to me. Yeah, Araigoshi, I just like it, And the thing is, the way you set that up, since it's a hip sweep, basically. It's a hip technique, by the way. And you can, even if you were to pull it off, let's say in a BJJ competition, you still land in side control, perfect side control, right? Now with Ippon Seiyo Nage, that's the one where, I actually did that in an MMA fight like a dumbass. And it's just like, it was just on instinct. And I did that when the guy was against the cage kind of blocked it and then ended up the guy had my back and was choking me out, but I ran out of time because I didn't tap. I was going to pass out. I was going to tap on that. But Araigoshi would be my favorite for that. All right, guys. So let's see here. If there's no more questions, I'm going to end it here. Thanks a lot for just jumping in. This was like impromptu. I'm going to do a lot of these impromptu things where these live streams where I addressed a certain subject, and yeah, so I can put out content, easily, faster, and at the same time, it's always fun to have you guys jump in here whenever you can and chit chat. So definitely, I want to do that a lot more for you. So that was that. So we're running on 25 minutes. This video is well longer than your standard 8-minute video, but I'm going to be doing this a lot more often, mainly because I don't know how to edit yet, and I don't have time. But I mean, if I wait to learn how to edit and then I start making videos, man, nah, man, I just want to pump out content for you guys and hang out, build a community, and discuss, and yeah, provide you guys some value, man. Oh, there you go. Thank you too. Awesome. Oh, thank you too. Oh, last question. Thanks, bro. You're also really appreciate your stuff, man. Thank you guys. I really appreciate that. And I am setting up some kind of community. I just have to set it up properly where it's going to be where I'm going to charge a little bit for it, right? Not much. I'm thinking like $30 a month or something like that. It's like $1 a day, where where what I'm thinking of doing is have hangouts once a week, either on a Saturday or Sunday, or maybe on both days, just for about an hour a shot, or maybe an hour and a half a shot, whatever, however long I could stay. And then from there, what I want to do in that private community is that I set up a private Facebook group where we could all chit chat, and where I could really share and show you guys stuff that I'm working on and stuff that you guys might need help with, whether it's in regards to fitness, weight loss, strength training for martial arts and all that, and yeah, and stuff like that. Like really give you guys the right information, because honestly, man, if I knew then what I knew now, yeah, I would make progress so much faster, and at the same time, I would avoid a lot of mistakes that are hindering me now in terms of injuries and all that. So I'm gonna set that up, and I'll let you guys know when it's ready. But for now, that's it, man. So more of these to come, and I'm gonna stop this one here. Might make another one later on tonight, and maybe one tomorrow. But anyways, I'm gonna do this pretty often, right? So then I'm gonna set up a nice thumbnail for it, because that's as much as I know how to do. Maybe learn editing at one point. I don't know, whatever. Who cares? It's not really important, right? So that's it, guys. Hey, thanks for being here, for jumping in like that, and I'll talk to you soon. Peace.